Hey people, you're back with Bunky. Let's get whipped. We're rocking the man of many names here. Some people call him the ex-cerberus Vanguard, others call him the Phoenix Vanguard. What nobody calls him is what the game calls him, the human male Vanguard. We've already got one of those, it's confusing, but I'm going to show you how to build this one. This guy came with the Rebellion pack. He's sharing two of the powers with his friend there, the Smash and Lash. Forget Lash. It really has no synergy with a Vanguard, to be honest. Because if just throws enemies around so erratically that you're quite hard pressed to find them and charge them in the small window of opportunity you get to get a biotic explosion off that. Just forget it. Lash is not a good power on the best of people, but it's really a terrible power on Vanguards as far as I'm concerned. Let's stick with what we know here: biotic charge. Again, you want radius, power synergy for this guy. This is a power guy, and then you want barrier. And let's look at smash. Now you can go either way here. You can go with the biotic combo or the electrical damage. I recommend the electrical damage. The biotic combo, it just sort of hits hard and then it sets them up for biotic explosions. Biotic explosions are cool. You know, they're really nice. They hit hard. But the electrical damage does damage over time. Okay, you do another 50% because the initial hit is like 1072.5 damage, and then you'll do 50% more of that over 7.5 seconds. But what's great is it stacks. So you smash them once, that damage over time is happening. You smash them again, and then that damage over time is happening with more damage over time, and you basically just kind of get more damage out using the electrical damage evolution, okay guys? And also that sets them up for a tech burst, which are all good too. I don't know if you saw the Quarium male engineer, okay? For the next evolution, we're going to go with force and damage, so we can hit harder. You could go with recharge speed. It can be a bit tricky, this guy, because he does get kind of bogged down. See, bioware knocked this recharge speed down for everybody, and they made this character awesome. But then campers and farmers completely exploited the thing by holding up in a little room and spamming the crap out of it and just breaking it, to be honest, and breaking the game, ruining everybody's experience like you do. Yeah, I'm pointing fingers. So now the recharge speed went back up, and now he's really not as great as he was for that small window of opportunity where the recharge speed was down, but this still works. I would recommend the force and damage still. And for a final evolution, take the armor damage, guys. Increase effectiveness against armor and barriers by 75%. That's a chunk more. The impact radius is just forgettable. I've tried it, to be honest. You hit one more. It's a weird looking power, guys. Okay, it looks like it just smashes the enemy to the ground, but it will only actually hit three enemies. 2 if you don't take the impact radius evolution. So you know the extra radius is nice. It means you don't have to get so close because you are so vulnerable doing it. You are completely open to damage, but I'll get more into it in the gameplay. But the thing is, you still only can hit 2 or 3 targets with it, and it's baffling. And what's also odd is it sets up explosions as well as detonate. It just doesn't. It functions completely differently to how it looks like it operates. But I'm still going to recommend you just take that armor damage and really hit the bosses hard rather than far away. Yeah, we're forgetting Lash. Just forget Lash. Phoenix training, typical power damage warfare. Okay, guys, go with damage and capacity, power damage, and then treat yourself to some weapon damage. You could go with the pistols and shotguns. You really could make yourself a bit lighter, but I think you'll be happier just doing more weapon damage. And then finally, full fitness. Take durability for the first evolution because he is squishy as hell. But then you want martial artist, and then we want power synergy. Okay, enemies that we kill with a heavy melee make our power damage stronger for 20 seconds by 30%. And we will do a lot of heavy meleeing if you're rocking this build, so don't you worry about that. That's going to make our smash really awesome. We got 700 health and barriers. It's squishy stuff, guys. It is squishy. That's why we're going to take a look at the equipment. I'm going to show you how to sort that out after the weapons. I'm going to be rocking the acolyte. Okay, this is going to synergize really well with the guy. We're going to be able to just strip the shield, set them up for an explosion, charge in, detonate that explosion, wreck them with a melee attack. Okay, I'm also going to be sticking on the pistol melee stunner. Okay, because we are going to be meleeing everything, and then I'm rocking the power magnifier as well. Okay, guys, in case we for the biotic charge and smash, we will kind of get that off with the acolyte. But what we'll be smashing mainly is the boss targets, and that's when we'll be rocking the wraith. Okay, you do switch over to the wraith for the armor targets, the big ones. I'm stuck on the Omni Blade because there's a cool little trick with Smash I'm going to bring up in the gameplay, and then I was thinking with the high velocity barrel. It's non-DLC, guys, so the weight doesn't matter. Go ahead and rock those two mods and have some fun with them. Okay, now equipment. You want elemental ammo. I'm going to be rocking Disruptor for the game because I got loads of it, to be honest, and get some tech burst in. For the armor bonus, I'm going to be rocking the Cyclonic Modulator because we're really squishy, and we're going to be so vulnerable with his moves. Like they leave you wide open. So I do kind of recommend a Cyclonic Modulator with this guy. For the gear bonus, though, I'm going to be rocking the Juggernaut shields because it is a melee build. I don't know if I've made that clear yet. It's a melee build. Juggernaut shields, more strength, shield strength, more melee damage. And then for the weapon bonus, I'm going to rock the Strength Enhancer. It is going to be a Strength Enhancer 2. Okay, that's all I had for the game. I got sick of playing the stores game. That's what made this video so late, guys. I was trying to get a Strength Enhancer 3. I've got one now, but it's too late. So I played this game with the Strength Enhancer 2, and we're still going to do some really nice damage. Let's jump into the gameplay and show you that. Alright then, here we go. I'm with my buddies Dominoes and Erdnot Whitey. Hasn't been in a video for a while, but he's joined us for this one. The other guy's just a pug. He's going to stick with us for a bit. And I've had a nightmare with this guy, to be honest, just because I've been trying to get the Strength Enhancer. And I do kind of want to show you unknown gameplay so that I can sort of show you that you can take on anything the game throws at you. But at the same time, getting collectors is a pain in the ass. It's not that I can't beat collectors. In fact, every time they came up, we kicked their ass and, you know, topping the scoreboard, all that good shit. But it's not a good game because, you know, if you want my recommendations, don't take this guy against collectors because this build at least, okay, because it's a melee build and he is insanely vulnerable most of the time, okay, and the collectors, and you know, and his other move where he plays it more defensively against bosses, he attacks through walls, and unfortunately the collectors do it just as well. So you know, you've got no line of defense, and they kind of annoy you. And you got the flies, you got the lasers coming from walls. Yeah, you can take on collectors and you can beat collectors, but it's not going to be anywhere near as smooth as this game's going to be against the Geth here on Glacier. It's easy to play, tricky to master. You basically want to be charging up your acolyte shot. You run in, you find your enemy, you release to hit them with the acolyte, then you charge in, you get the explosion, whatever elemental ammo you're rocking. Then you instantly follow up with the heavy melee. The heavy melee's really cool, okay? It's not the strongest hitting, but its area of effect and ability to stagger is actually really, really awesome. And it's quite a heavy area of effect. It's large. You've got a good radius on it. You'll be surprised just how many enemies you just knock back with it. And basically, it hits 360 degrees as well. So it works really well for him because you can just charge into a room, tech burst this group of enemies, and then you follow up the heavy melee and you just whip them all. And look, everything goes down. There was actually one point in this gameplay where Dom was just looking at the kill feed, and it was biotic charge, biotic charge, melee, and tech burst was all on the kill feed at the same time. He's like, how the hell did you do that? I go, because that's exactly what I'm rocking. I've got all those things going on for me at the moment. And this is how you take on every kind of mook enemy. I mean, I got flawed here because it wouldn't let me charge that pyro. You know, it's just something you get when you're playing Vanguard. The biotic charge bugs out on you. There's going to be one wave on this game. I think it's like the last wave or something like that, where I'm just going to be completely raped by the Geth. They're just going to get me in this room and they're going to stun lock the crap out of me because unfortunately this guy's got a lot of flair, a lot of pizzazz. The animations are funky, he looks badass, but the whole time he's doing it he is completely vulnerable, especially his smash ability. It's got a little flick to it, and it's unnecessary because it just leaves you wide open and you do get some trouble from it. But I'll explain that in a bit when we start taking on more of the bosses. I'm obviously just going to nuke this prime so I can switch over the target to one of the mooks and we can just take them out quickly. But so that's why you want elemental ammo on your acolyte, guys. You absolutely want it because you want an explosion. You need an explosion to essentially to keep the enemy stunned while you do that heavy melee. The heavy melee itself will stun, but they're going to be gunning you until it happens. Until that kicks in, you're going to be taking you're going to be taking a lot of gunfire, and you do just eat it. I don't know if there is any kind of damage reduction. It certainly doesn't feel like there is, but there probably is. There normally is with those kind of powers. But yeah, so you basically want to make sure you get the explosion off, stun the enemy, then you then you lash them with, or you heavy melee them, sorry, and then that's another stun. And by then most Mook enemies are dead. It's like stuff like the pyros might require you to hit them again, or just, you know, you can normally, by that time you can normally do another charge and finish off any of the survivors, because don't forget our biotic charge has got radius as well, and that's kind of what we're working here. We're working a ton of radius so we can just keep the enemy stunned constantly. Now this was dumb. I wanted to just try and take out that. You need to get off the grenades. He's not strong. He is incredibly flimsy. So you know you need to use those evasive maneuvers. Okay, he has got the base human sort of maneuverability. Right, he does got. Then it's a good one. Okay, it's like my second favorite, to be honest. But in the game, the human ones just sort of taking the rolls. You know, charge in, heavy melee, roll out the way, and then charge again. And so basically, your survivability is just on impact radius. Okay, that's what we're living off. We're stunning so many enemies so frequently within a good radius that you're just kind of keeping the fire off you. Now we're going to start seeing some more primes and stuff. I think I can start talking about how you work the big bosses and smashing everything. When you start taking on the bosses, that's when you want a soft cover when you take on a boss. You never ever want to just go toe to toe with the bosses. They're just going to wreck you. Smash. It'd be nicer if it was actually happening on screen so I could literally call it out. But basically, Smash. I have done it so far. I did take out a prime with Smash earlier. I hope you saw. But there's this a whole wind-up animation, similar to like electrical slash and stuff, okay? You got this little wind-up, and, you know, during that wind-up, you are completely vulnerable to damage, and the enemy will gun you down into it. It's one of those powers it's just so over the top that you're kind of required to do it behind walls and through cover, because it does go through walls, thank God, because if it didn't, it would be a terrible power, to be honest. You really want to kind of rock soft cover and just smash through the walls and stuff like that. You want to just duck in and out. Basically, you want to smash. But let me make this point, because this is why we got the Omni Blade on the Wraith, okay, guys? Because you can actually cancel smash, or at least the end of the attack, with a dodge, an evasive roll, or a heavy melee. And the thing, as soon as the smash hits the ground, the attack hits. Okay, the attack's going to come out, and then basically you can follow it up with a melee attack. So you're basically getting two attacks out at the same time. And yeah, that is as awesome as it sounds. Okay, you do a lot of damage with it, and that's what I like to do, guys. I like to at least get nice and close behind the soft cover. I will smash and I will heavy melee. So then that's two hits, and obviously the animation's cut short, so I'm able to just poke out of soft cover, hit them twice with the Wraith, and then follow that up then with another smash. If done correctly, if you do smash directly after the Wraith is going to reload during the smash animation. So that's basically how you can just stream out damage on a boss target. You just smash heavy melee, pop out, two shots, smash heavy melee again. And yeah, that's what you want to do, but you do want to do it behind soft cover. You really don't want to just be out there smashing, to be honest, guys, because you get smashed yourself. That's the sad reality of the power. It leaves you far too vulnerable. And this is what the farmers did. It was on this map before they blocked that door there with the crates. Okay, that used to be a wide open room. If you should have played the single player by now, you know that's an accessible room, and it used to be in the multiplayer. And you know, people used to just hold up in there with this guy and just spam smash through the wall, and the enemies wouldn't be able to get close, and they just got wrecked and stuff. This is stupid. That A button for everything. I pressed A to go into cover. My character decided to opt to just climb over cover and leave me wide open for a shot, and I went down. There's most of my deaths in this game are kind of game faults, to be honest. I you know, if I mess up, I'll put my hands up and I'll say that I shouldn't have done that. But things like the biotic charge not letting me charge the pyro, and that guy just jumping out of cover in front of a horde of enemies. Yeah, that was kind of upsetting. What are you going to do? But there is going to be a later where I jump into a room, and it's the biggest mistake I could have made, because it is absolutely flooded, and the Geth stun lock just completely annihilates me. There's nothing I can do. This is a lot of fun though. It's a trickier character to play. Like I said, really simple, but hard to master because. Just because it demands that you play a very, very dangerous game, but it's extremely high risk and very nice reward, very, very nice reward. It's also really cool, actually. I mean, his heavy melee is a really cool melee, just because of the area effect. But okay, this is what I was talking about, guys. I'm using soft cover. I'm not standing out in the open. I'm smashing a heavy melee cancel. See, the smash comes out, that bombards him. And then I follow up with the heavy melee. The heavy melee's got a wicked radius on it, so I'm hitting it with the heavy melee too. Got the Omni Blade on the Wraith as well, so it's doing a nice chunk of damage. And then obviously I put in the 2 pop shots for the Wraith, and then I just rinse and repeat then. And basically that kind of damage can be constant because of the way that guns like the Wraith can just be reloaded with a power that you can follow directly out. Literally, you need to do smash the instant you finish the clip. See there? See, halfway through Smash, my gun reloaded. That's because I followed I emptied the Wraith, and then I did Smash instantly. And then, it's just a nice stream of damage. And not to mention, when I smashed the Prime once, I hit him hard, and then the damage over time is in play. Then, obviously, I put 2 shots in, and then I smash him again. Then he's hit hard again, and then I'm stacking more damage over time. Remember, the damage over time is for 7.5 seconds. So it's not done yet. The last... load of damage over time was still in play, and I've piled on some more. So you just do churn out a ton of damage on boss targets with this sort of, this kind of style, this method of playing. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but I hope I'm being clear. Let me give you some different weapon choices and equipment choices, though, because there are nowadays there's some probably better options. I'm just a creature of habit. I've always done this with this character, and I'm not willing to change. Especially since I've got another melee Vanguard. He will be next, and he's already doing that. I don't want those guys to become too similar. But yeah, here's your choices, guys, okay? Obviously, I'm rocking the Acolyte. It's all about stripping the shields and priming the targets. That's what you want. You want to prime the targets for an explosion. So every biotic charge is an explosion or a combo power. Other guns that do that really well are going to be the Scorpion, because if you stick the enemy, they will be, primed for whatever ammo you're rocking. And the Talon as well, it's got 150, boost damage to shields and barriers. And obviously, because it hits with a ton of pellets, it's actually really good for just priming targets as well. You do want to stay light, though. I mean, there's some really nice assault rifles that are really good for priming targets as well, but they make you too heavy, and you need to be light. You're a Vanguard. You're a power Vanguard as well. So it's fundamental that you stay light. I recommend you use those 3 pistols I recommended. For your boss killer, though, I'm using the Wraith because it's light. I still recommend exactly the same mods, no matter what gun you pick. You want the Wraith. It hits hard, it's light, but you can also go with the Piranha as well, because that's another good armor chewer, and it's really light. The only problem with the Piranha as well is because it is a DLC weapon, it will actually be affected by the weight. You might not want the Omni Blade on it. You might want to just go with Smart Choke and the High Velocity Barrel. But what the other choices that I mentioned earlier is the fact that we got the Power Magnifier mod for pistols and SMGs. So you can obviously rock the SMGs like the Blood Pack Punisher. Okay, that is a role-playing gun. Okay, I wouldn't ever make that your only gun, the Blood Pack Punisher, because it's crap against shields and barriers, but it is incredible against armor. So that would be a great secondary weapon instead of the Wraith. You can go with the Blood Pack Punisher, put on the Power Magnifier on that, and the High Velocity Barrel. And then you're going to chew through armor, because SMGs with the High Velocity Barrel just really do turn out a ton of DPS. The Blood Pack Punisher does a lot of armor damage, and then you've got the Power Magnifier, obviously making your smash stronger. And I've explained how you take on the bosses and how that will all synergize really well. Obviously, the usual culprits for the SMGs is going to work just as well. I mean, you can go with the Collector SMG. You wouldn't probably need to worry about having the magazine upgrade on it, because it's you're going to be spamming Smash a lot, and you don't shoot that often, so you can probably just go with the High Velocity Barrel and the Power Magnifier on that as well. And same with the Tempest and the Hurricane. Okay, the Hurricane's the best SMG. It always has been. It looks like it's always going to be. So yeah, you can go with the Hurricane too. Obviously, for the equipment, I've said it enough times because you want elemental ammo. I'm rocking Disruptor, but Incendiary is going to be the best, okay? Because that's more damage over time. You can pile that on with your smash damage over time, and plus fire explosions are incredible, okay? But you know, you can go with cryo explosions too if you just went with the cryo ammo. I mean, I think most people have got a ton of that stuff. I am going with the Cyclonic Modulator. I mean, he is so squishy and so oftenly vulnerable. You do kind of want it. If you haven't got a Cyclonic Modulator or you just don't want to use one, try a power efficiency. At least then you can get your... See, this is it actually, guys. I am going to be locked up in this room. I got the bombers, I got the drone, I got the 2 primes. I am just getting raped up the arse right here. I'm going for my rockets. It's I needed to take out at least one of those primes. I was so stuck and messed up in that situation. I couldn't do anything. They're annoying, the Geth. They are so irritating. And it's because of stuff like that. It's just so... There's just so much stun lock. It is absolutely ridiculous. But still, they're not worse than the Collectors to fight for this character, because... as you can see, the way I take on the boss targets and the Collectors churn out a ton of boss enemies, it's all about sort of fighting them through cover and stuff like that. And unfortunately, the Praetorian stuff just hits back through the cover. His lasers go right through soft cover as well. And the Scion, he's got an incredible radius on his little hand. Well, it's not little, his massive hand cannon, and that seems to just sort of wrap round and do a nice area of effect damage, and that gets you too. And you know, obviously the flies are always a kind of nuisance. The Collectors are tricky to fight with this guy. Not a no-go area at all. You can take on the Collectors. Just expect to eat some Medi gel. But yeah, your power efficiency, guys, for another piece of equipment, because then you obviously can get your biotic charge and your other powers out more. Biotic charge is basically the fundamental in any Vanguard survivability. You want to be charging frequently so you can get your shields and stuff back, and obviously making yourself stronger. I mean, that isn't something I haven't delved into, but I think it was kind of clear from the build section, guys. Okay, every time I've killed an enemy with a heavy melee, my smash has got stronger, and how many enemies have I killed with a heavy melee? Then, of course, I've also got biotic charge with power synergy. Every time I've done a biotic charge, that's made my smash stronger. So you do just really start to pile on all the bonuses here, and you do hit hard with smash. It is a cool power. It is very cool. It's just annoyingly over cinematic, to be honest. It leaves you very vulnerable. But for that reason, because it hits so hard, you could also go with the power amplifier, just make it stronger. But it's obviously going to make you weaker at the same time, and that's all I'm going to recommend for your armor bonuses. Gears, I'm obviously rocking the Juggernaut shields, because I want more shields and I want more melee damage. You can go with hydraulic joints, skip out in the shields and just hit harder with your melee, if you deem it necessary. If you've got like a Strength Enhancer 3, though, you really don't need that much melee damage, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe for Platinum. But even then, to be honest, you're probably just better off just repeating the cycle again, as opposed to just trying taking them out in one cycle. It's also martial biotics. Okay, that's biotic damage and melee damage, so you can see how that's going to work out for you. And there's Berserker package as well, guys. If you did stick with the Piranha or the Wraith, obviously that's melee and shotgun damage. But you know, when you go for extra offense, you lose defense, and this guy, I would say, needs a lot of defense. You can you don't have to do the melee thing, guys. I mean, because Smash is really good. You can just kind of be a power Vanguard in the same respect as the Nova Guard. I wish it wouldn't let me revive this guy there. So you could just put more focus on your power attacks, to be honest, guys. You can go with the Adaptive War Ramp, Mental Focus, go Commando package for the Acolyte and the Smash thing there. Expert package, if you did, we'll go with the SMGs instead. So it's going to increase your recharge speed, let you do more weapon damage. And there's Structural Ergonomics as well. Because, like I said, your survivability is in your charge. If you can do your powers more often, you've got a better chance of surviving. So Structural Ergonomics is decent on this guy. There's also, obviously, there's just the shield options. Okay, you can go with Shield Booster, Stronghold package, Survivor loadout. You know, just pile on the barriers there. But this is a really cool guy. He's fun. He's really fun to play. Hard to play though. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I'd rate it on like a noob friendly scale, but I'd probably say he's okay, let's say 10 is completely noob friendly and 1 is like not noob friendly at all. I'd probably give him like a 4, maybe 4. Because, you know, it is, you really just need to be able to, you need to really assess your situation. I mean, I may look like I'm being reckless here, just charging in and heavy meleeing every kind of group, but look here, it's like I knew I could take out this group, and I knew there was cover over here to deal with the primes, and I'm going to be using it. I'm not coming out of this cover. There's more mook enemies starting to flood in there. I'm not going to start charging in and meleeing in there. This prime needs to go down first. It's not safe otherwise. So you really do need to, like, focus. You need to focus in the right areas, otherwise everything's going to overwhelm you. But it is, you know, I don't want to, like, sort of intimidate you, okay? That is all you're doing. Mook enemies, you charge in your heavy melee. The boss enemies, find yourself some soft cover. You need to get kind of close. We haven't got the radius evolution. So you need to smash heavy, cancel that with heavy melee, shoot twice, smash heavy melee, and that kind of stuff. And that's how we're dealing with every enemy in the game. So apart from a bit of Geth stun lock, this was actually a pretty solid game. I've got hit, I got taken out a few times. Some game bugs, but obviously, and then sometimes me just being silly, making mistakes, or just finding myself in a really ugly situation. It happens, guys. It happens. Great guy though, a lot of fun. Try him out, absolutely. I mean, what was also cool about this game was the fact that Whitey was rocking the Paladin, I think. So as he was setting up a load of cryo explosions as well, and there was just a lot of tech bursts, tech explosions going on there. There was tech bursts, fire explosions, cryo explosions. The Geth were taking it quite hard there. But you know, to be honest, Geth are a tricky faction to take on, but they're still quite easy to take on. And collectors are the only ones that's really going to give you a bit of a headache. You can go against every faction. Reapers are actually really easy to take on with this guy. I mean, the Bwnci can obviously jump through the wall and surprise you, but you need to be smarter, guys. You need to keep a good distance from the Bwnci. But I've made my point there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll keep them coming. Take care of yourselves now.